Hello YouTube, how is everyone doing? It's Professional here. So I want to thank everybody for waiting for this video. This is that player versus player video that I was telling you guys about for weeks. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this video. A lot of people have been excited for this video. I've got a lot of comments requesting when this video would be put out. So I want to thank everybody for being patient with me. But I want to tell you guys something also in this video. And the thing that I want to tell you guys in this video is a lot of the stuff that's in this video, I recorded a lot of this stuff weeks ago. Like a lot of these griefer interactions that I've had here where these griefers were just harassing me, a lot of this stuff happened weeks ago. But the reason that this video took me, probably close to a month to put out was because I just did not feel like putting this video out. I did not have fun making this video. Now, almost all of my videos, the vast majority of them, I have fun. I'm making them. I enjoy making them. This video I did not enjoy making, but I thought this video would be good to put out though, even though I did not enjoy making this video. So that's one of the reasons that it took me so long to make this video, is because I just did not feel like, making this video, because this video, I think it's important, but it's just that the player versus player in GTA Online is just so garbage. It is just so bad. It is so terrible. And it's like GTA Online is my all-time favorite multiplayer game. And so literally the game's player versus player has just been ruined over the years, and it's so toxic. It is toxic as hell. It really is. So that's really why I didn't enjoy making this video, because it's just me talking about these toxic people and just reliving these memories of just, the stuff that these people have just been doing and the toxicity that I have to deal with. But a lot of these examples, these happened just only a couple weeks ago, and every single one of them have pretty much been very toxic. So I'm going to say right here at the start of the video that I think that player versus player is garbage in GTA Online. Any kind of PvP battles, it's garbage. It is garbage. Maybe it was fun at one point when the game first came out, but I think it's pure garbage. Now, you might disagree with me watching this video. You might have a totally different opinion. If you like the player versus player in GTA Online, then I'm happy for you. That's your opinion, but I'm also allowed to have my opinion. And I'm telling you, from my perspective, I really don't like player versus player in this game. Like, I really hate it. I just despise it so much. And the thing about this is unfortunately, I'm going to have a bunch of people that are going to make these ridiculous accusations against me, where they're going to say, oh, you hate GTA Online, you hate this game, why are you hating on this game made you popular, and a bunch of this other stuff like that. Look, here's how I'll address that right now at the start. I love GTA Online. Like I said, this is my all-time favorite online multiplayer game. And yes, GTA Online is a huge reason on why my channel is a success today. More than half of my subscribers, so more than half of you guys, are from GTA Online. I know that. I'm fully well aware of that. I enjoy this game. I have over 565 days played on this game. That's just in game time alone. I've been playing this game, since 2013 when it came out. So I would not have over a year and a half of my life spent on this game if I did not enjoy it. I do enjoy GTA Online. But here's the thing. When I say I hate the player versus player, I'm allowed to hate one part of the game, but like other parts of the game. Anyone who plays any kind of game, I'm sure there's parts of a game you don't like, and then there's parts of a game you like. But I'm telling you, from my perspective, I just hate the player versus player. I despise it. I think it's stupid. I think it's toxic. I think it's just idiotic. This isn't to say that, players shouldn't be able to kill each other in GTA Online, but the way that the current thing is set up, I think is just ridiculous, and it's just stupid. I am an information channel. That is what I am, guys. I am not a player versus player channel. There's plenty of PvP, channels out there, and I understand that my PvP videos that I made like 7 years ago got really popular. I made a few of them, and they got over 4 million views, so I understand that they're popular, but this is what people don't understand. When I fought those griefers in those PvP videos 7 years ago, that happened because I wasn't going around looking for people to fight. I wasn't looking to engage in PvP. It was just me and my friends trying to do sales in lobbies, trying to sell businesses, and then some griefer tries to blow up the shipment, and we get pissed off, and then we start fighting the griefer and kill the griefer a bunch of times. And I uploaded videos of that happening, and those videos got, blew up in views. But I don't go around looking for fights or anything like that. I'm not a player versus player channel. I am like I said, I'm an information channel. I devote my channel specifically to making guides for you guys. I make guides for you guys, money guides. I like the co-op in GTA Online. I like the heists, the businesses, basically the co-op stuff of the game. I like crime games. I like gangster games. Games that, where it really goes in the criminal underworld. It's one of the reasons I don't like the futuristic stuff is because I like the crime stuff. I like it, at least when it focuses a little bit more on realism. I do tend to like that stuff. So I like the co-op. like I said, the heist, the businesses, that's the part of the game I like. But when it comes to player versus player stuff, I just really don't like it. And I hate how people constantly, want to fight me, and they're like 1v1 me, 1v1 me, fight me, a bunch of this other stuff. It's just stupid. They don't understand. I'm an information channel, like I say. I make guides for you guys, and I also make lore videos. I love the stories in these games, the stories, the characters, the missions. I love all that stuff, and I love discussing that. So that's basically for that. For the people that, that say, like, why don't you do PvP? This is the reason why I don't do PvP. And anybody in the future who asks me why I don't do PvP, I will redirect them to this video. So chances are you might be watching this video as one of the people who came to my stream asking me why I don't do PvP, and I told you, check out this video. And here's the thing about this, guys, is that it's not just me who's saying that PvP is garbage. I asked you guys what you guys thought. I asked you guys in a poll what you guys think of player versus player combat in GTA Online, and 16,000 people voted. So this is not a small amount of people. This isn't just, a few dozen people that are voting. This is 16,000 people who have voted. And out of 16,000 people who have voted, 88% think that the PvP in GTA Online is broken. Only 3%, only 3% of the people in GTA, at least in my poll, enjoy GTA Online's PvP. Only 3% out of 16,000 people that voted actually enjoyed the player versus player combat, and 9% said that it was average. So the vast majority of people think that the game is broken. And I'm going to be reading some comments later on. Your comment might be in the video. But anyways, let me explain exactly what's wrong with the player versus player. Let me explain why this game is just so bad with it. Okay, so let me show you guys what happened here. This was a couple weeks back, and I'll show you guys a few more examples, not just this one, but this happened a couple weeks ago. And the backstory behind this here is I was actually recording a solo money guide, and for people wondering, yes, I still will have that solo money guide for you guys out, don't worry. It's just probably going to take me a few weeks because I'm experimenting with a lot of different things, and I wanted to make sure that my guide was just the absolute best that it could possibly be. But anyways, what I was doing here is I was experimenting with a whole crate strategy. I'm not going to really explain that here. This focus is just on the player versus player stuff. But I was testing out this new crate strategy here. I wanted to see something, if I could get a certain amount of crates in a specific time limit, and then sell it to see how profitable it would be in that time limit. And I was also testing it in a public lobby just to get the maximum amount of money. So what ends up happening here is I go to sell, I get into my Sparrow, and as I'm getting into my Sparrow, I'm flying towards the plane, and I see this savage that's flying over here. And this guy was in Ghost Organization, and he ends up blowing me up. And the guy has a really disgusting name, which is is really disgusting, ugly. But anyways, about this. When the guy blew me up, I thought at first that it was self-defense. I thought that, maybe he wasn't actually griefing me. Maybe he just got scared because I was flying in a buzzard right towards him, or a sparrow right towards him. That's basically what I thought. So maybe he got scared and he just saw I was just flying towards him. And that was it. So I ended up going towards my plane, and I end up flying. Now, fast forward here, I make the vast majority of drops. And as I'm making the last drop right here, I get this message from this idiot. Free 1-0 on an annoying YouTuber. And this is exactly what I'm talking about when I say that the player versus player in this game is garbage. It's not just the gameplay wise, but it's also the players. The players have just made this game so toxic is that these morons essentially think that this is like Warzone on Call of Duty. They think that this is some MLG, Call of Duty tournament. No, this is literally Grand Theft Auto Online. This is an open world crime game, but these idiots have, gotten on this game, and they think that this is some kind of, crazy, MLG Warzone, and they think that everyone is going to care about this stupid 1-0 scorecard like them. But, the moron just, sent me that message, and what ends up happening is I went to my warehouse, and the thing is I know I'm at fault right here. I know people are going to tell me, oh, you should have just left the lobby. You should not have kept selling here. But I saw that the guy was far. He was across the map. And I was thinking, I might as well just get the sales done here. I didn't feel like going into the lobby that night. I just wanted to get my next sale done for my warehouse. Now, I didn't see the guy in the map, so I thought he was just somewhere else. And this is what ends up happening is, yep, this guy was off the radar in his Raiju, and he blows me up. Now, listen. I could have left the lobby at this point. I could have closed my application, but I was just basically done with this crap. I was done with these griefers. I get harassed by these people multiple times, and I basically said, you know what? Let me just stay in here. Let me just see what this guy does. Let me see how this guy plays. It was basically just to see what this guy is going to do. How toxic is this guy going to be? I thought this guy was going to be really toxic, and guess what? My assumptions were proven correct. This guy was way worse than even toxic. This guy was beyond toxic. So I got into a Sparrow, he tried to shoot me down, I jumped out, and then what he does is he just keeps coming down with the Sparrow, constantly bombing me, constantly killing me. And if you notice in this entire interaction, guys, I am not using easy way out at once. I don't do that. I don't do easy way out. I don't do it. So, you can say, you should have easy way out. I don't do it because I don't believe in that. I personally think that crap is just garbage. I think that it's stupid, blowing yourself up to avoid being killed by somebody, because you're pretty much killing yourself either way. You're dying either way. So I just think that it's stupid. I don't buy into the whole scorecards crap. I don't care. But anyways, I end up killing the guy. I shoot him down right here with my railgun, and then right afterwards, the guy has a helicopter right over here, right after I shot him down. I don't know how the guy managed to get that so quickly. He just took off. He was already here in the sewer. He had that ready, so I don't know how he did that so quickly, but he had that. Now, we got into a helicopter dogfight. I end up blowing the guy up. Now, this is the part where this gets even way more toxic. So look at this. I am flying right here with my buzzard, trying to blow this griefer up. And what does this moron do? Every single time I fire a missile close to him, he just drops a sticky bomb on himself and he just blows himself up. That's what he does. And this is what GTA Online has basically been reduced to. This is just honestly pathetic. That is what I will say. That people are just so scared of dying. They're so scared of their scorecards. They're like, oh, you can't have, one kill over me. I have to be always 1-0 over you. You can't ever be over me at all. That they're going to get so scared that they're just going to constantly keep blowing themselves up over and over and over again. And just look at this right here. See this kill right here, how he got me? This is honestly one of the most pathetic, garbage bullshit that I've ever seen, excuse my language. And let me just slow this down for you guys to show what I'm talking about. And chances are, if you've fought a lot of people in GTA Online, you've seen people do this exact thing, exactly this. Look at this. So what these people tend to do is that if you are in any kind of, helicopter, you are coming right at them, what they will do is they will fire an RPG at you, or they will fire a homing launcher at you, and then what they will do is they will just sticky bomb themselves. And that missile, when that missile is flying, even after they are dead, if it hits your helicopter and blows you up, it counts as a kill for them, and it counts towards their scorecard. And that is honestly pathetic. It's one of the stupidest things that I've heard. Blowing yourself, firing a missile at somebody, and then dropping a sticky bomb at your feet, it's honestly the most idiotic thing ever. It is just such a stupid thing. And guess what? Right after that, yep, he has a Toreador right here. He blows me up, kills me. Then he comes over here. I knew what he was going to do. He was going to come right towards me with the Toreador. So I kind of hid right next to the sewer entrance. I knew it was going to be a little harder for him to come in here. And I ended up killing him with the railgun. Now, what ends up happening is the guy gets a helicopter. And what does he do? He was trying to kill me, but I hid under the highway. I knew exactly what he was going to do. I knew I had good cover here, and I knew that if he peeked down, he would be exposed right here. And so right here, he tried to kill me. He knew what I was doing, though. He ended up backing off for a little bit. Then what ends up happening is there was another random that started fighting him. I'm assuming the random that was fighting him got pissed because he probably killed him earlier. So in that confusion, after the guy gets shot down, I end up getting a Sparrow. I go after him again, and look at this. The same bullshit again. Look at this, guys. Honestly, just look at this. This is just pathetic. You fire a missile at somebody, and then you blow yourself up right after that. That is just stupid. And I will tell you guys something. The worst part about this garbage, you know what the worst part about this is? That the people that do stuff like this, the people that play like this, they actually think that they're good at the game. That is honestly the worst part about this, that these people actually think they're skillful. They think that they're actually good at the game. It's honestly, this is just pathetic. And here's what I will say about this. I don't care what these toxic idiots say. I don't. Because if you blow yourself up, because you are so scared of me killing you, if you sticky bomb yourself, if you blow yourself up, I count that as a kill. I do. So, you can talk about your scorecard, you can talk about your 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0 bullshit, whatever you want to talk about. You can talk about that all you want. But every single time you blow yourself up, I'm going to count that as a kill for myself. Because I have essentially accomplished what I have been trying to do. I've been trying to kill you, and if you just kill yourself, that doesn't just throw that away. You still died. I still accomplished what I was set out to accomplish, and this is what these idiots don't understand, is that they think, oh, if I blow myself up, it does not count. But literally, you just literally accomplished what I was set out to do. I was set out to kill you, and you literally did it for me. So, in fact, you helped me. And that's the thing about these idiots, is that they think that, oh, it doesn't count. It says, oh, it's only the scorecard counts, but you literally blew yourself up because you were so scared that somebody else was going to kill you. Here, we get into a dogfight with each other. We're fighting each other. And I will at least say this. The guy does have skill when it comes to flying a helicopter. That I will say. But when it comes to the other, crap that he was doing, on the ground, firing the missile, blowing himself up, that's just honestly pathetic. It's just honestly stupid. And as you guys see right here, after he blew me up, I don't do what he does. I don't do this bullshit. I don't do it. I don't just, constantly easy way out. I try to kill him. I try to blow him up afterwards. You know why? Because I'm trying to adapt to the situation. Yes, it's a bad situation, but I'm trying to adapt to it. I'm trying to survive it. I'm trying to get out of it. I'm trying to fight back. I'm not going to keep just blowing myself up. And guess what? I ended up killing him here. He ended up killing me. And that was that. And then he kills me a few more times over here. But again, I don't easy way out. I don't do that crap, guys. I was doing my best to at least attempt to shoot him down. Now, later on, what he does is he sends me this stupid message right here, thanks for the video. He probably recorded it for his own stupid channel. He's probably like, oh, I got a few kills in the professional. Like, I hid outside his warehouse. I hid in a Raiju, off the radar, and I blew up his cargo. Yay, I'm cool. I'm a real cool guy. I'm the best at this game, blah, 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 this. The idiot doesn't even realize what he literally just did here. I was recording this whole thing myself, too. But that's basically what I'll say about this, is that this easy way out crap, this is just garbage, this is just toxic as hell, and this has really hurt the game. Now look, I'm not saying that every single, time that you use easy way out is illegitimate, but I will say is that in situations like this, when you're doing stuff like this, when you are so scared of somebody blowing you up and you're constantly just blowing yourself up, you have basically accomplished what that person was trying to do. They were trying to kill you, and you killed yourself before they could kill you. So I don't know how that, changes the result, is that you're still dead at the end of the day. That was it. I killed my player, but when I kill my character because I don't want to deal with cops. So when I'm like, I have a high level of cops and stuff like that, yeah, I'll kill my character and stuff like that. Or when I get stuck, if I'm like on a hill or something like that and I don't want to go down the hill, then yeah, I'll kill my character. But I'm not going to keep blowing myself up in PvP. I don't do that. You won't find videos on YouTube of me fighting people and just constantly sticky bombing myself. It doesn't exist. I've never done that over the years. I don't do that. I don't understand why people do stuff like that. It's just stupid and idiotic. And what I will say about this here is that, think about this, guys. For the people that say that this is a legitimate strategy, there are people out there that think that this is very much a legitimate strategy. They think that constantly blowing yourself with a sticky bomb, firing missiles at people, they think that this is legit. Let me ask you something right now, the people that think this is a legitimate strategy. Do you know any other, player versus player game, like a game where you can kill other players, where people intentionally kill themselves to avoid being killed by other players? Do you know any other game like that? I'm sure maybe there's like one or two games where people do stuff like this, but it's definitely not a game I've heard of. But me personally, I've tried to think of a game where people kill themselves to avoid being killed by other players, and I honestly cannot think of any game. And when you really think about that, a game like that really doesn't exist. I'm sure there's maybe like one or two games people do it, but it's definitely not as popular as GTA Online. And look, think about it. Any other game, if you do something like this, Battlefield, Call of Duty, Hell Let Loose is another game I play. If you kill yourself because you're scared that another player is going to kill you, they're going to laugh at you. Think about when people do 1v1s on Call of Duty. If somebody just keeps killing themselves with a grenade or throwing C4 and just blowing themselves up constantly, they're going to get laughed out of the lobby. Everyone's going to laugh at them and think that that's absolutely pathetic. But in GTA Online, the toxic community has unfortunately created an atmosphere where people think that this is absolutely acceptable. But like I said, it's just toxic, it's just stupid, and it's idiotic. So let me actually show you guys what ended up happening later on. So afterwards, I didn't feel like dealing with this moron anymore, and what I did was I went to my submarine. And when I went to my submarine, I hid underwater, and when you hide underwater, they can't see you on the map. Now, the idiot knew that I went towards my sub because he was watching me the entire time. The guy ends up sending me a message and says this: not all that professional. The guy's trying to get me to respond to him, but I'm not texting him back or anything like that. I'm just hiding underwater. Now, we fast forward right here, and what does the guy do? The guy actually tries to start looking for me. The guy tries to take his boat. He tries to drive around. What the guy is basically doing is he's hoping that I surface. That's what he's trying to do. Now, I was waiting till he gets right back to shore. And when the guy got right back to shore, what I did was I surfaced. And what I was going to do right here is I do a strategy, and this is one of the things that these easy way out idiots, they don't see coming, is what you can do is you can take a submarine, and then if you actually put on the thermal helmet and you get into the missile pods, if you actually fire that, you will actually fire that missile with thermal. And I've gotten these easy way out spammers before. I've done it like this, where I just fire the missile, and they get so pissed because they don't see that coming. They really don't expect you to do stuff like that. But unfortunately, it really didn't work here because the guy got into a helicopter or some kind of vehicle, and he approached me really quickly here. So what I did was I just changed my position, and I tried to fire a missile at him. Now, when I tried to fire the missile at the dude, he disappeared off of the map. I didn't know where he went. I think he actually went underwater into his own submarine. I tried to fire a second missile. I wasn't able to get him, unfortunately, here. So I at least made an attempt to try to get the guy. The guy keeps sending me messages, trying to get me to reply to him, send him some kind of message back. Now, we fast forward here. This goes back and forth. He's hiding in his submarine. I'm hiding in my submarine. And I knew exactly what he was trying to do. What he was trying to do is he was trying to get me to leave the lobby first. And I was honestly just so sick of this toxic behavior. I was just so sick of this BS that I said, I'm not going to let this guy have this. I'm not going to let this guy make me leave the lobby first. Because I knew he would record that. He would put that, like, I made the professional leave the lobby. So what I ended up doing is I just sat in my submarine. And I just sat here on my phone the entire time. Well, it was like over an hour I just sat underwater. I just watched YouTube videos. And the thing about these griefers is that these idiots, they have very little attention span, and they have almost no patience whatsoever. That's the thing about these guys. They have no patience whatsoever. And I knew it was only a matter of time. If I just kept waiting and waiting, the guy was eventually going to get pissed, and he was going to eventually leave the lobby, and he left. And I mean, just you look at this dude's name. I don't even want to read his name, but you guys see right here, you just see how toxic as hell this crap is. That's just disgusting, having a name like that. And people like this do stuff like this are sick. These are sick people that do stuff like this. It's disgusting behavior. So you can't tell me that somebody like this, that they don't have some kind of issues, because the guy obviously does have some kind of issues. The fact that he has a disgusting, provocative name like this, and he's just going around harassing people over and over on the game. There's a reason that it's called Easy Way Out. These morons, what they have done is they have essentially tried to change the word. They don't like the word easy way out, and what they do is they call it EWO. I will not use that stupid word. I won't say, oh, he EWO'd. I will say he easy way outed, because that's exactly what he did. The whole purpose of easy way out was so that if you get stuck in a location, and you can't get out of it, like if you're in the ocean or something like that, you can just respawn. That's the whole reason for it, and that's actually why Rockstar put a cooldown on that. But after Rockstar put the cooldown on the easy way out stuff, these morons, what they're doing is they're now sticky bombing. And remember how that notification used to be back in the day, this person easy way outed? That was basically to shame you. That was the whole point of it. You weren't supposed to use something like that for PvP, but these idiots, they honestly don't understand that. They think that this makes them skillful at the game. So I know I'm talking a lot here, but the point that I'm getting at ultimately is that if you are constantly blowing yourself up because you are scared that I'm going to kill you, then I have accomplished my task. I have killed you already. You just did it for me. That's ultimately it. So I don't know how these morons think that, if I blow myself up, it's not going to count. Well, it might not count on the scoreboard, but you still accomplished exactly what I was set out to do. And I know what some people are going to say. Some people are going to say to me, professional, it's only one guy that you encountered. The PvP can't be that toxic. Well, you have another situation right here. This is a completely different lobby. This is a completely different guy. I was selling 9 crates here, testing something for my solo money guide that I was trying to put out for you guys. And again, I get this crap. I see this guy following me with this Oppressor Mark II, and I knew from that name right away that the guy was going to be trouble. It's like, why these griefers, they always have these toxic names. You just know immediately they're going to be trouble. And of course, he's using the Oppressor Mark II. There's nothing else that he can use. Even though I activated Ghost Organization, he already knew I was in the air. He tried to get higher and he tried to blow me up, but I know that when you fly higher, you can actually fly faster, and I dodged every single missile. When I was high up in the air, I know that planes can go faster, and if I fly around in a circle and I take sharp turns, I can dodge all of his missiles. It's a little harder with the Cuban plane, but it's doable. And that moron doesn't know how to get kills any other way. That's the only thing he can do is just fly around in Oppressor Mark II, lock on the people, and just spammed all of his missiles, and he was just surprised when nothing hit me, and then he was just flying away. And what does the guy do? Look at what he does right here, is he forms a CEO, and then when he forms a CEO, you know exactly what's coming next. Yeah, that's it. Ghost Organization. And I knew it was that guy because I even checked here. It was exactly him. And what he was probably trying to do is he was probably trying to get a jet or some kind of other air vehicle, and he was going to blow me up. He was going to go after me. Fortunately, I was able to make all of the drops, and then my yacht just happened to be there, and I jumped on and got into my yacht and escaped from him. Had air defenses on and just hid in there, and that was pretty much the end of it. But that just goes to show you another aspect of the PvP, that people can only use the Oppressor Mark II. That's literally the only thing that they can do. And these griefers, like I said, they're just so stupid. They can't even kill people manually aiming the missiles. They have to actually just lock on with everything and just spam that. The only way that they can get kills, a flying motorcycle that just destroyed and ruined the PvP in GTA Online. It's just, I just hate that thing so much. And I was just minding my own business selling crates. I activated Ghost Organization. I showed the guy that I clearly don't want to fight him, but nope, he instead climbed up, tried to blow me up, and I don't understand why people play the game like this. For all the guy knows, I could have had 30 crates in that plane, and that takes around 2 hours to get. So I never understood this, why you decide to go after people, why you decide to try to blow people up. You have done you no harm. It takes hours to grind this cargo, but people still do it, and then they make these stupid excuses in this game saying, oh, it's the game telling me to do it, don't be pissed off at me, I'm just doing whatever the game tells me to do it. No, I can be pissed off at you because you chose to do it. Just because the game tells you to do it doesn't mean that you have to do it, but the guy did it. Fortunately, though, nothing bad happened here, but man, I just hate that Oppressor Mark II, and it just shows you how toxic these people are, is that they will make it their absolute mission to destroy cargo anytime they see it. Another aspect of why I just cannot stand the player versus player in this game. And this right here, I wanted to include this in my video because this is the last time that I'm ever talking about PvP on GTA Online again. I'm never going to make another PvP video on GTA Online after this one. But this is from my video 2 years ago, top 10 most annoying types of players. And this happens routinely also right here. This was over 2 years ago. It was me and my friend here. We were trying to roleplay as a biker gang, playing GTA Online, trying to enjoy it, which more people, I think, should play the game like this. We're supposed to be, criminals after all. But instead, we had an idiot who blew up my friend with a Savage helicopter. And then right after that, missed me. I ended up getting out my explosive sniper. I fired at this person. I shot this helicopter a bunch of times. And then I realized the helicopter blew up. But even though the helicopter blew up, I didn't get the kill, and I was confused. And then I looked at the map, and of course, the guy was in his facility. And people do this routinely, where they will try to kill you, and then when they're about to die, instead of, easy way outing also, they will just have a doomsday heist invite ready. They will teleport right back to their facility, and then they will orbital cannon you, and they will act like they are good at the game. And when this idiot couldn't kill me, and he realized I was hiding inside my clubhouse, he ended up leaving the lobby. That's how toxic this crap is. So there's just the way that people play this game. People play this game so cheap. They will use the cheapest things ever, easy way out, Ghost Organization, Oppressor Mark II, or they will warp to their facility. This is another one right here. This just shows you the idiots that sometimes engage in PvP on this game. Just look at this. This is from that same video. An idiot orbital cannon me. This was a different guy, by the way. He blows me up, and then what does he do? 1-0. The fact that some people actually think this makes them good at the game, you killed somebody with an orbital cannon and then you think that you're good because you 1-0'd them? My god. So I know I'm going off on a lot of these guys here, guys, but this is all to show you guys why I think the PvP in this game is just so garbage. And look, I get it that not every single person plays like this, but the amount of people that do stuff like this, they ruin the game for essentially everyone else, because you almost never have a fair PvP fight unless you both agree to it being fair, unless it's between two friends. This is how people play the game. They play like this. So here at the end of the video, I wanted to cover this final griefer, and this is something that happened on my live stream 3 weeks ago, guys, and this is just truly disgusting. Just take a look at what happens here. Yes, Petrovich would have made him a representative. I think that Petrovich might have a new son. Oh, what's just happened there? Dude, come on, What? Mason, what was... Dude, come on. What was that about, even? Yeah, even know.
After all that effort.
Wow, I haven't had this happen in some time where a friend, you know, starts doing crap like this, but it's just... Everybody leave this session, by the way. Just leave this session. There's a loser in here. I don't know why people are so toxic like that, like why people do crap like this. This is just... So for people confused about this, I have not streamed in public sessions in, what, about 3 years now? Ever since it was, like, what, summer of 2022 when we were allowed to sell in private sessions, invite-only sessions, and friends-only sessions. I had to sell it in friends-only sessions because in the past I would have griefers constantly searching for the public sessions. They would try to get in through the public sessions, or what they would do is they would look up the crew on the leaderboard on Social Club, and then they would join in directly through that, or they would try to send messages to people, constantly telling people, random people in the lobby they were friendly, and they want to help sell businesses and grind money, even though they weren't, and they were just trying to get in the lobby. And you have to be really desperate and a massive scumbag to actually do crap like that. And ever since I started selling in these friends-only sessions, what would happen is I would add, you know, between 1 to 2 people, usually on every single stream. And I tried to add as many people as I can, and people would join me on these Sunday streams, and we would help them sell. But what ended up happening here is, unfortunately, I had an idiot who sent me a message telling me that he was friendly and he wanted to play together, he wanted to help sell. And I think this guy originally sent me a message on the stream because what happened was he sent me a message here about half a year ago, so from June 2025, and he said, "Hi, can I help sell cargo?" I never replied to him then. I guess I just didn't see the message. And then in January 20, I replied to him, and I think it was because he would come on the stream and he would say, "I'm friendly." So usually this would happen is people would come on the live streams in the comments and say, "Hey, can you add me? I want to help you sell." And for the most part, the people were friendly. I really have had minimal incidents in 3 years of selling in private sessions, but this guy was not friendly at all. This guy was a known griefer and had actually changed his PSN or made a new PSN account, so I would not know who it is. And he says, "Hi, I appreciate the help." Then he says, "Can I join when you stream GTA next? I want to make sure we do it on your time. I'm good on money for now. Thanks again, pro." And I said, "Yeah, join whenever you want. I'll help you out." And then, you know, you see his actual true colors. You see who this guy actually is. And on that same day when he griefed, that was on the 25th, he says, "That's what you get for selling in invite-only lobbies. I destroyed the rest of whatever your friends were selling when you left. It was a ton of stuff. Just don't ever sell in my lobby again." Idiot. That was not your lobby. That was my lobby. I made that lobby. I was the creator of that lobby. That's how I got everybody in that lobby. It was a private session. But I will tell you something about this. If this is the guy that I'm thinking of, because this is a known griefer. If this is the guy that I'm thinking of, this guy has basically been griefing me for years. You know, this has probably been more than 5 years at this point, more than that. And the fact that this guy has been griefing me for 5 years, trying constantly to blow up cargo, harassing me for 5 years, you know, you seriously got to have some issues if you are that desperate for attention, doing stuff like that, harassing somebody for 5 years, doing something like that. And the fact that this guy could not kill me in any kind of public session, because what I do in public sessions is whenever anybody kills me in public sessions, I immediately leave the lobby. The reason I immediately leave the lobby is because I don't want to deal with that BS of somebody constantly blowing themselves up over and over again. But here we had, you know, this idiot had pretended to be someone else, pretended to be friendly, and I mistakenly added him, and a guy had his cargo destroyed in my lobby because of that, and I felt like crap because it was on me. I added the guy ended up coming in the lobby, and somebody lost their cargo because of me, and it just made me feel like crap. And I will say this, that these griefers constantly make the argument over and over and over again, and they say, "Oh, you know, I'm only doing what the game tells me to do." Well, that's not what the game told you to do. The game told you to actually protect the cargo because he was actually in the MC. And so that's the reason he didn't kill us when we were, killed me when he was firing us out, because he was in the exact same MC, but he can still destroy the cargo even though he's in the same MC. And my god, you gotta be absolutely pathetic to act like this, to actually do stuff like this to people. You're just a complete scumbag doing crap like this. But I will actually show you guys the clip again. I'll actually show you guys his perspective. Take a look at this. Yes, Petrovich would have made him a representative. I think that Petrovich might have a new son. Oh, what's just happened there? Dude, come on, what? What? Mason, what was... Dude, come on. What was that about, even? Yeah, I don't even know.
After all that effort.
Wow, I haven't had this happen in some time where a friend, starts doing crap like this, but it's just... Everybody leave this session, by the way. Just leave this session. There's a loser in here. So yeah, that crap is just honestly pathetic, guys, and it did get me upset. I will be honest about that. I just don't really show when I get upset, I don't really tend to show it much, but it did get me upset because it was just somebody who pretended to be friendly. They were desperate to grief, and so they just pretended to be friendly and doing stuff like that. And because of that, I'm basically putting a pause on adding random people during the stream. So when people come in my stream and ask me to add them, I'm putting a pause on it, but only for a couple weeks. So after a couple weeks, I will start adding people again. So, you want to help during the streams, you want, your cargo to be sold during the streams. My lobbies are relatively peaceful. I will start adding people again, but after a couple weeks, because I got to take a little bit of a break from that, because what's going to happen is there's going to be copycats who are basically going to be trying to do the exact same thing, and I got to be very careful on who I add in the future. But I will start adding people. We'll still do the Sunday streams, don't worry, but I'm just not currently adding anyone right now at the moment because it's just crap like that. But honestly speaking, is like I said, is you got to be really pathetic in order to do something like that, to, pretending to be friendly just so that you can get in the lobby and destroy somebody's cargo. And that guy, like I said, I'm pretty sure I know who that griefer was, or that text message he sent me, who he said he was. That guy would upload videos constantly griefing me and griefing other people, just destroying cargo. This guy's been doing this for more than 5 years. And about the guy is, I remember, back in the day when you couldn't sell in, invite-only sessions, this guy was just constantly griefing cargo, and he would say, oh, professional, if you talk to me in a party, I'm not going to grief cargo anymore. I'm not going to do it. And I said, literally on the stream, if you're really serious about that, if you're really not going to grief cargo, then just don't do it. You don't need to talk to me on the stream to do it, because I knew he just wanted to get me in the stream. He wanted to get me into his party just so that he could make fun of me and just so that he could mock me. And eventually, after just him spamming, I finally agreed to talk to the guy in the party. This was years ago. This was more than 5 years ago. And it was me and my friend talking to that griefer in a party, trying to basically tell him to stop. And he just kept saying the exact same things. I don't understand why you guys are getting so mad at me for doing what the game tells me to do. And it's literally like talking to a brick wall. That's literally what it's like. But in this case, the griefer's own logic, bites him back, because he said in the past that I don't understand why you get mad at me for doing what the game tells me to do, but that's not what the game told you to do. You were part of the MC, the game told you to sell the cargo and protect the cargo, not to blow up the cargo, so you actually didn't do what the game told you to do. But the griefers don't really believe that argument when they say, oh, I'm just doing what the game told me to do. They only just use that as an excuse to just justify being assholes. That's basically their, defense to justify it. The reason that they're doing this is just cause people grief. That's the reason, is that they just like getting a reaction on people, making people mad. And that's ultimately why I say is that PvP in GTA Online is garbage. I've shown you guys numerous examples in this video. The PvP is bad. Now, I know not every single PvP fight is like this, but just the amount of PvP fights that happen like this is just, ruining the game for basically everybody else. And I'm just done with PvP. I am not, making any kind of this. I haven't made a PvP video in years. The last time I made one was 6-7 years ago, and this is, my first time making it afterwards. And this is the only reason I'm making this video, is basically to show how toxic this game has gotten, and to basically explain to the people who have, kept asking me, why don't you make more PvP videos? Well, this is the reason why, because these people are losers that you fight against in the game. Is that, they do crap like this, the Easy Way Out, the Cargo Griefing, the Ghost Organization, the Orbital Cannon, the Oppressor Mark II, all of this BS. These people cannot do a fair fight. They can't do any of that crap, and they basically resort to this crap. And I'm here on the screen right now. We're gonna read some comments. This was from my poll. This was from Turtleman 986. PvP is just who can throw the most expensive gadget at each other. Pretty much, yeah, that is all PvP is, we get the Oppressor Mark II out, you get the Raiju out, you go back to the facility, use the Orbital Cannon, that's it. It's just, constantly spamming these vehicles over and over and over again. And even when you're not spamming the vehicles, it's the Easy Way Out and the Sticky Bomb spam. That's just annoying in itself. That's basically what GTA Online has become. With the addition of all these military vehicles, it has just rapidly changed the game. I'm not saying there shouldn't be any military vehicles, but just the amount that they have just added to the game, it has just basically broken the game beyond belief. And like I said, it's not just me saying that. 16,000 people voted, and 88% of people said, out of 16,000 people said that the game is broken as hell. And from this comment right here from Kenu, who knew, flying motorcycles, unlimited lock-on missiles, went from rated M to being a children's game now. And I agree with you, right, 100% there, Kenu. And you know something, one of my viewers, he made a really funny comment years ago. It was on a live stream, but there was one of my viewers, he said during a live stream, he said, and I never forgot this, he said, Rockstar gave 10-year-olds godlike powers by adding the Oppressor Mark II. And that is essentially what they have done, is by adding that stupid bike to the game, is they have allowed anybody, even if you are the most trash garbage player ever, just to be able to just destroy everyone with that thing, because it's how broken it is. It is just so agile, it can dodge so easily, and its lock-on missiles are just so effective. It just requires almost no skill whatsoever. People can just spawn it easily with their MC menu, and just go on it and just start griefing people, destroying cargo, harassing them, and going in Ghost Organization, and just keep repeating this cycle over and over and over again. And then from Lucky Penny, the biggest problem, in my opinion, is that the game is balanced as a hierarchy. A lot of the weapons and vehicles serve no use because they are very underpowered by design and are intentionally outclassed by other weapons and vehicles you get later on. Why use the Ruiner 2000 or Stromberg when the Toreador exists? Why use any assault rifle or SMG when the Combat MG exists? Why use any helicopter or plane when the Raiju exists? And when you do have a nuanced choice to make, like with the railgun versus the explosive sniper, it's few and far between. Yeah, and that's the thing, is they have added way too many of these, futuristic, powerful military-grade weapons and all of these futuristic military vehicles, all of this crap. This is supposed to be a crime game. This is supposed to be a crime game. This is supposed to be a gangster game. And look, I know there was military vehicles in previous games. I know in San Andreas you had the Rhino tank, and you had the Hydra jet, and you also had the jetpack. But even so, that stuff was not broken. And you had 3 vehicles with that stuff. But now look at all the crap that we have. Toreador, Raiju, Hydra, Laser, Kanjali, Oppressor Mark II, Deluxo. The list just goes on. An Orbital Cannon. And then you have also the cheap mechanics like, Easy Way Out and Orbital Cannon, all of this other crap that you have in Ghost Organization. You have all of this stuff in the game that just makes the game just so unbalanced, and there's so many other military vehicles that they've added to the game, and there's really no point in using them. Like, for example, if you use a Savage, for example, a Savage is going to get blown up by most helicopters. It's even going to get blown up by a Sparrow. The only way a Savage is going to have any chance is if it gets really close and uses its explosive guns. So, like, they've made so many vehicles that are useless, and they've added so many vehicles that are just really overpowered and broken, and people don't use anything else in this game. That's what the PvP has essentially, developed into. And then you have these people who think that this is like, the next version of Warzone in Call of Duty, where they think that, 1-0 and all this other, crap going on. And then last comment here we have from Night Laundry. Day one player here. 2013 and early 2014 were the best years for PvP in my opinion. There was a time before personal weaponized vehicles, orbital cannon, futuristic vehicles, thermal vision, gadgets, bulletproof helmets, movement when scoping in with a sniper, special ammo, and the ability to buy ammo on the go from the interaction menu. Even though these things didn't exist back then, there was things like rhino tanks, lasers, buzzards, and reversing with a supercar with no back window while drive-by shooting. Passive mode didn't work properly, and you could get run over by another player in order to kill you while you're in passive mode. I remember playing a lot of PvP back then in order to unlock weapon tints for the base weapons and ammunition. In order to unlock that cool dark blue LSPD tint on your weapons, you had no choice but to duke it out with other players. Deathmatch, on the concrete map was my favorite bread and butter. However, when the Last Team Standing DLC came out and introduced bulletproof helmets and sniper dancing, I gave up on PvP, and I started grinding contact missions and survival instead. So things were a lot more simple back then, and I sure do miss those days. GTA 6 might be like this at first, but over time they'll start to add in more and more overpowered stuff to the point of locking it behind GTA Plus. Then it becomes pay to win, which is my biggest fear. Yeah, and I agree with you there. When this game first came out, in 2013, it really was not that bad, the multiplayer. Like, back then we complained about the Zentorno, because what people would do to Zentorno is that supercar that you couldn't shoot them out the back, and what they would do is they would just back up and sticky bomb you. Now it's considered the most overpowered thing, and then also the Rhino tank, but the Rhino tank was at least slow, you could get away from that. But I miss that. I miss having to deal with Zentornos and Rhino tanks. Even when the Heist update came out in 2015, one of the most annoying things was the Kuruma. People would drive around the Kuruma and just constantly drive by you, but I miss the Kuruma. I would rather deal with the Kurumas, constantly drive-bying me than, this Oppressor Mark II garbage and stuff like that. But they've added all this stuff. It becomes pay to win. It becomes broken. People can buy a bunch of shark cards, buy all of these overpowered military vehicles. And with GTA 6, this is really scaring me, guys, because with GTA 6 is they could make GTA Plus GTA Plus required to play the online in the first place. And I know some people are watching this video and saying, don't give them any ideas, but I'm not giving them ideas. If I have thought about this, 100% Rockstar's thought about this. Now, whether GTA Plus is going to be required to play GTA 6 online, that I don't know. But GTA Plus definitely will be in GTA 6 online. And the question is, what are the GTA Plus players going to have access to that regular GTA 6 online players aren't going to have access to? Are they going to add all of these militarized vehicles? I think that one of the things that they can do to stop a lot of this BS from happening is let people sell in invite-only sessions and friend sessions from day one. So, like, right on day one, please let people, do everything in private invite-only sessions. Don't force them to do everything in a public session. People want to do things with their friends. They don't want to engage in just constant PvP with people. And even when the people are doing PvP, they're constantly being really cheap. It's just a complete joke. The other thing is to stop the easy way out crap, to stop this, because I'm telling you, people are going to do this again in GTA 6 online. They're going to do this. To stop the easy way out crap, what I think they can do is get rid of scorecards. They can get rid of that. Get rid of the scorecards. There's no reason that scorecards should exist in the game. Just completely get rid of that crap. But also on top of that, do it that if you are in a fight with somebody and you kill that person, right? If you approach that person, you're within like 100 meters of that person, and that person just blows themselves up, make the kill count towards that person, towards the person that's 100 meters away from them that was fighting them previously. And if you do that, it starts giving them the kill. I guarantee you it's going to stop this easy way out crap. And people will actually have to try to fend with the situation. People will actually have to try to deal with the situation. Because I think that the most challenging thing in PvP is trying to actually deal with the situation at hand. Is actually trying to okay, I got a helicopter or a jet bombing me. I'm going to try to get out of this situation. I'm going to try to shoot it down. I'm not going to just constantly throw sticky bombs at my feet and then think I'm good at the game and just fire RPGs and blow myself up constantly. But that's what these guys do. That's what I would say is get rid of the scorecards. Make it so that people blow themselves up within like 100 meters or so of that person. It gives that other person the kill. It'll stop this crap. Let people sell in private sessions, and do not, for God's sake, just add so many of these really ridiculous military vehicles. I don't mind if a fighter jet gets added, or an attack helicopter, or a tank, but I don't want to see some futuristic flying motorcycles. I don't want to see that garbage. I don't want to see it in GTA 6. I want GTA 6 to focus on the drug trade. I want it to focus on role-playing. Like you guys saw like earlier in that clip when it was, me and my friend, and we were pretending to, be bikers, and we were doing like biker missions, driving around together on actually old-fashioned motorcycles, not the futuristic crap. That's the type of immersion that I like in a GTA game, stuff like that, like actual role-playing criminals. And that's what GTA 6 Online should be like. It should be actual role-playing criminals. It should not be this garbage that you have here, Oppressor Mark 2s, and I'm all about my KD 1.0 and orbital cannon and all this other crap. No, don't have that crap in the game, please, because it's going to ruin the game. The game should focus on role-playing, focus on the drug trade. That's what the Vice City games have always been. Vice City and Vice City Stories focus on the drug trade. Focus on the drug trade in those games. Do that. Do a good cartel-like storyline, and do a good thing for the multiplayer to actually focus on the drug trade in the multiplayer. Do actual illegal businesses that we have fun role-playing, not some grindy, ridiculous thing. And wrapping this video up here, guys, the thing that I will say at the end here is I know some people might be saying that I'm over-exaggerating, or they might say that I'm complaining too much, or that I'm talking about stuff. You have my word. This is the last time that I'm talking about this. This is the last PvP video that I'm making in GTA 6 Online, or GTA Online. I'm sorry, I'm losing my track of thought at this point. I am not going to make a PvP video anymore. This is the last final PvP video that I'm making in GTA Online. The only time I might ever consider doing a PvP video again is when GTA 6 comes out, just testing it, seeing what it's like. But I'm just so sick of these toxic people, and encountering these toxic people a couple weeks ago, I really didn't even want to put this video out, because this video is even stressing me out, even recording this, even talking about this, because I know people might say, oh, it's just a game and stuff like that, but you also got to look at my perspective. Is I got harassed by these people like every single day. Almost every day whenever I got on GTA Online. And when I used to do live streams back in the day, if you watch my live streams in like 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, you know exactly what happened on my channel. You know what happened. I had people that were constantly trying to join into grief. I had most people that joined in on my sessions were, nice, friendly people, and we helped people sell a bunch of stuff. But unfortunately, we also had a lot of disasters where cargo got destroyed. And what would happen is people would ask me, can you help me sell my cargo? And I would tell them, no, I can't drive your vehicle, because if I drive your vehicle, I'm going to be a target, because there's going to be some idiot that's going to try to, record a video and blowing up the professional and putting it up on YouTube, and then your cargo is going to get destroyed because of me, dude. And so I felt bad. I would help people sell their cargo, and people would be targeted because of me. I felt bad over that. And every single live stream that I did, guys, almost every single live stream, there was almost always somebody that was constantly coming in and trying to ruin it. these people were just constantly searching for public sessions. Like, they were literally searching public session over and over and over again. I used to play in free aim sessions, and there's not that many free aim sessions out there. And what would happen is, because there's less free aim sessions than public sessions, it was easier to get into my lobbies, and people were just constantly keep searching the free aim sessions until they got into my lobby, and then they would just grief. Or what they would do is they would send friend requests to people in that lobby, like people that were on my friends, people that was helping, and they would say, oh, add me, I will help you, sell cargo, just like that idiot did earlier in this video. And people would add them, and they would come in, and they would, they would constantly blow up cargo. And then these griefers, they got so desperate that what they did was they even went on the social club website, on the social club leaderboard, and I don't know if you can do it anymore. I don't think you can, but on the social club leaderboard, if you actually went through it and you found the specific crew that you were looking for, you could actually join the person in manually, even if you were not in that crew itself. So the person wouldn't even have you added, but you could just join off of them off of the crew leaderboard, which is just stupid and idiotic. And so griefers would do that and join into my session, and then what I had to do is I had to unlink my crews, and that's why I stopped using the crews, because griefers were literally using the leaderboards to constantly join in and grief cargo. And so almost every single stream that I was doing, I couldn't fully enjoy it in the past, guys, because what would happen is I was trying to focus on reading chat, I was trying to read your comments, and I was trying to help people sell their cargo. But what happened was every single minute, I would have to constantly keep refreshing the page to see if any known griefers are just constantly rejoining. I would have to look at this, the whole board of players that are in the lobby, and what I would do is I would constantly open up my map, and I would just look at the facilities. Is anybody in a facility? Is anybody in a facility right now? And I would just have to constantly keep checking that. And that's on top of that, I would get all these toxic messages from these griefers just harassing me, sending me, people even send me really racist things. People would say horrible things about Polish people, sending that to me. And so I dealt with that crap for years. And that's why in 2021, I took a break from GTA Online. So remember in 2021 when I just took a break from streaming, I just did not stream for months. The reason I didn't do that was because of this. It was a huge part of this. I just got so stressed out by this. It was like almost every lobby that I did, I would constantly get harassed. People would just come into the lobby. They would just harass me, blow up cargo, send me nasty messages. And even though most people were cool, most people were friendly in those lobbies, it was just those toxic people that were just coming in, and they were just ruining my day. And when I'm trying to have a nice fun stream, trying to help you guys out, like I said, I'm an information player. I just help people make money in the game. I help people do heists. I help people grind businesses. I don't do this, PvP garbage. I'm not into this, this whole stuff. But people would constantly come in, they would grief my cargo, they would harass me, send me these messages, and it took a toll on my mental health. And at that point, I just could not stream GTA Online anymore. It was not fun for me. It's just I really didn't like streaming GTA Online anymore, because it was like every stream I encountered toxic people that were just harassing me, and so just doing this every week, this took a toll on my mental health. It did. And that's why I took a break from streaming in 2021, and I came back to streaming GTA Online in 2022 because they finally let you sell in invite only and friend sessions. And in those 3 years since 3.5 years since we've been able to stream in invite only sessions, selling businesses in them, what's happened in those sessions is that I've had minimal incidents. Maybe in 3 years, maybe I've had 3 incidents at most, 3 or 4 incidents at most, where what would usually happen was somebody that was on my friends list that would, I thought was my friend, but would just start griefing cargo, just what happened with this Mason idiot. And so streaming in those, friend sessions, that has been just helped my mental health so much, and it's let me enjoy GTA Online more, because I don't have to deal with these griefers constantly harassing me and constantly joining me. But these griefers have gotten desperate, and now they're doing crap like this, pretending to be, a friend, and, sending messages, and they know that I add people constantly. Not a lot of YouTubers do that, where they add, their viewers, but I do that. On my live streams, I try to add, 1 to 2 people every stream. I can't add everybody, but I try my best to at least add 2 people a stream and help them out. And fortunately, some people take advantage of that, and they do crap like this. But thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I don't want to seem like I'm complaining or whiny or anything like that. It's I didn't enjoy making this video. I didn't, but I wanted to basically, explain why I just hate the PvP in this game so much. Why I just cannot stand it. Why just, it just really pisses me off. And overall, I like GTA Online. It is. I do like it. It's a great, online game. It's one of my favorite, games. Probably my favorite multiplayer game. It is. But it's just, some of the toxic people on this game, they're really noticeable. And even though it's not everybody, even though it's a small group of people, the toxic people, they're so noticeable, because when they start doing toxic shit, excuse my language, it just ruins the game for everybody. It just kills the mood, and people just don't want to play the game at that point. And I really hope that this garbage does not happen in GTA 6 Online. But thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, watch until this very end here, I do thank you for staying with me and watching this whole video. If you did enjoy the video, do drop a like. Let me know what you think down below. And if you're new to my channel and enjoy my content, do subscribe to me. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.